Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, very welcome. My name is Ieva. Today's video will be quite different to my usual yoga and movement routines here on this YouTube channel, because today I want to share with you my experience and tips on how to organize a yoga retreat or any other retreat, a gathering with your community. So I would recommend you to grab a pen and paper, or if it's more convenient for you to do that on your laptop, and to first ask yourself two questions. So first is, why would you like to organize a retreat? And second is, what is a retreat that you'd like to take part in yourself? And then my suggestion is to organize it yourself. So personally, when I'm organizing retreats, I really love to put all the activities and things that I really like to do or what is dear to my heart, because this way I think the experience that we create is quite authentic and close to our hearts and unique. And personally, I would really like to take part in my own retreats, so in the ones I organize, and then for me that's quite a good sign. Hello, Lupi. So yeah, this is Lupi. If you're new here, meet Lupi. Yeah. Another thing to think about is the location and the retreat space. So yeah, how to choose the best location. Again, there are many questions that you could ask yourself that would help you to find the best location for you. Whether you'd like to organize the retreat in your home country or somewhere abroad, and then where, in which country. Also, what about the climate? Would you like to organize a retreat in a warm country with a warm climate, or perhaps somewhere in the north with snow? Again, there is never a right or wrong answer, but we try to find what resonates with us the most and what we would like to offer to our community. Also, whether you'd like to organize a retreat in the city or in the middle of nature. Perhaps there is a location that you have been yourself, that you really enjoyed and that you'd like to show it to your community. So, for example, my retreat in south of Spain, I'm organizing it in El Chorro, and I found El Chorro through rock climbing around 6 years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with that place. I stayed there for a couple of months, staying in a tent, climbing, hiking, and I enjoyed it so much that I organized the yoga retreat there as well around 4 years ago. So now I will share some of the things, what I think about when choosing a retreat location that will hopefully be useful for you as well. So I try to find a location that is quite close to the international airport, and I would say not more than 1 hour and 30 minutes away from the airport, because it would be easier for your community to fly or to arrive by train to that place if it's well connected. Another guideline that is very important for me is that I'm always looking for a retreat space in the middle of nature. This is not to say that the city retreat is wrong or I wouldn't recommend it, but I would prefer myself to attend a retreat in the middle of the nature. Therefore, I'm also organizing a retreat in the nature. So my Lithuanian retreat is set in the national park, so in the forest and surrounded by lakes. And the retreat in south of Spain is also located in the middle of nature, surrounded by rocks, rolling hills and mountains, really a doorstep away. When we go hiking in Spain, sometimes we meet wild goats and vultures on our hikes, and which is, I think, quite cool. And both of these locations are very secluded. There is no light pollution, which means the sky is full of stars and the nature sounds are all around us. I'm also always looking for a lake, a sea, or a swimming pool nearby, because I think it's very refreshing to go for a swim during the day. So this would be another thing what I'm looking for when searching for new locations for my retreats. And last but not least is a spacious yoga studio with a beautiful view. So both of my retreats in Lithuania and in Spain have this very spacious yoga studio overlooking the forest or the rolling hills and mountains in front of us. The big glass windows can be fully opened to let the fresh air come in into the studio. And as we spend quite a lot of time in the studio, I think it's very important to have the most beautiful yoga studio as we can. Another thing to think about is timing. If it's going to be your first retreat that you organize, I would recommend to have at least 9 months before you announce the retreat till the start of the retreat. So usually it takes quite a lot of time to organize and to plan all the little details, as well as to spread the word about your retreat. And also, most importantly, your community will need to plan in advance, book holidays, etc. So yeah, I think that's very important to have plenty of time ahead. So to make sure that you don't have to stress about it and you don't have to worry that you're running out of time. Oh, and also the venues can get booked up quite in advance. So therefore, this is another reason to plan early, to make sure that the venue that you really enjoy is still available on the dates when you're planning to do your retreat. And then this brings us to another important point to mention is the marketing. So how to spread the word about your retreat to your community. So of course there are many different platforms, so social media platforms, your mailing list, inviting your students after your studio classes, after your weekly classes to attend the retreat as well. So the first retreat might be the hardest to fill in the spaces, but then afterwards, for sure, it will become easier. So personally, for me, quite a lot of people share with their friends about this retreat that they really enjoyed, and then their friends also want to come. So word of mouth is a really, really good way to spread the word about your retreats. And another point to think about when planning a retreat is the topic or the theme of your retreat. So whether it's going to be a yoga retreat, movement retreat, hiking, pottery, writing retreat, so the options are endless. Again, with pen and paper or on your laptop, write down some things that you would like to include in your retreat. So the activities that you would like to do in your gathering. So I have organized an intensive retreat where we practiced yoga and movement for around 5 hours every day. I have also organized an adventure retreat where I included a climbing, hiking, and a via ferrata activities. I have also organized a very wholesome retreat with 2 yoga classes per day, then also a sauna ritual, a hike, a gong bath, a cooking workshop. So yeah, these are the things that I really enjoy and that I would really like to take part in myself, and therefore I added it into my retreats. So I always say that there is no right or wrong. Take some time to think about the retreat that you resonate with, the retreat, the journey that you would like to offer to your community, and then go from there. At first, I think it can look quite daunting and overwhelming when we think about organizing the retreats. But once we deconstruct the whole process into the smaller steps, it becomes easier. So yeah, leave a comment down below if you found this useful. Also, if you have any questions, and also if you'd like to see a more longer video about how to organize a retreat based from my experience, from my tips. So I really hope these were useful for you. So consider subscribing to support the channel, and I will look forward to read from you down in the comments below or over on my Instagram, which I will leave down in the description below as well. So have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time.